Hi, welcome to Rachel's Moonlight Library. It's Rachel. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe. If you're not new here, then welcome back. Welcome back. Love you. So, we're going to talk about the books that I have gotten from the library recently. I've been on a reading slump for the past couple of months. Something I do, I'm going to make a reading slump thing next to talk about this, but something I'll usually do is I will read graphic novels. That's a really big help for getting me back into the zone of reading. So this is going to be pretty graphic novel heavy. I have a couple other books here too. Let's get started. Okay, so the graphic novel I'm currently reading is Cages. Oh my god, it's so big. Cages by Dave McKean. Dave McKean does the covers for Sandman, the Neil Gaiman graphic novel, or did them. That was a while ago. It is really big, very hefty, pretty cool looking. So this one it kind of reminds me of Sandman, where it's taking a lot of different tales. It's like a bigger picture, but you're following a couple of different people a little bit in this kind of jilted, not so structural way. There's strange magic things happening, but it is set in the real world. It has a lot to do with civil unrest, place and self and image, finding your truth and your place in the world. All in all, I'm enjoying it. I'm almost done with it. I got Allie Brosh's Solutions and Other Problems. I used to love Hyperbole and a Half. I mean, I still love it. It's just I have not read it in a while. And I was like, maybe I'll get to reading this one because I always meant to and never got around to it. This is Allie Brosh. She wrote on her blog, kind of graphic novel-y, comic-y, but there's also long periods where she's like actually writing in it as well, and you have the pictures with it. It is about her childhood, her depression, her life, how her childhood has affected her life. It's really funny, but also very dark and sad. After Hyperbole and a Half, she took a hiatus. I think she was putting out a little bit, and she kept saying she was going to put out this book, and it was years and years before she actually did it, and we were all very happy she did, and then I just never got around to it. So here I am now, actually reading it. Next up, we have some Frank Miller, because I've been meaning to read some Frank Miller. I'm not usually a superhero person, but I've heard that the Batman from Frank Miller is really good, and I've been meaning to. I think that part of it might have inspired the Batman movies that, why can I never remember this man's name? Christopher Nolan. So I think it minorly inspired Christopher Nolan for his Batman series, but maybe I'm making that up. You can tell me in the comments. Do not quote me on that, because he does have one called Dark Knight Returns or something, Frank Miller. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a Batman person, but obviously I'm not really a superhero person either. I don't typically read them, so we'll see how this goes. It's pretty short. And then I also got Ronin. I'm not sure what this one's about. It's also Frank Miller, but I was suggested it, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. A dishonored, masterless 13th century samurai, a Ronin, is unborn into the corrupt and reborn, learn to read, and computerized New York City of the 21st century with one last chance of redemption. Is it here on this bleak and decaying battleground that he will at last come face to face with the reincarnation of his master's killer, the ancient demon Agat? Settle past debts and fight for the soul of a dying civilization. Actiony, fun, we'll see. I'm all over the place with what I read graphic novel wise. That's just me. I also got A Guest in the House. You can't really see this very well, by Emily Carroll. She wrote a couple of graphic novels that I've read. Through the Woods was like a retelling of Red Riding Hood, I believe. So this one is after many lonely years, Abby's just gotten married. She met her new husband, a recently widowed dentist, when she arrived in town with his young daughter seeking a new start. It looks beautiful. Like, look at that. That's gorgeous. I'm very excited for this one. It's partially black and white, partially color. Like, color comes in every once in a while, it seems like. But it has an interesting style to it, so I'm excited about that. I also got Blood of the Virgin. This one also just looked interesting. I don't really know much about it. Yeah, it's just kind of typical comic book style. Some of it seems to be in color as well, like every once in a while. I'm not quite sure. So this is You Can Burn in Hell. Set primarily in Los Angeles in 1971, Blood of the Virgin is the story of 27-year-old Seymour, an Iraqi Jewish immigrant film editor who works for an exploitation film production company. Sammy Harkham brings us into the underbelly of Los Angeles during a crucial evolutionary moment in the industry with the last wheeze of the studio system and the rise of independent filmmaking. Interesting. Okay, so next I got Sandman universe. This is Nightmare Country. I've been reading some of these. I love Sandman. These aren't written by Neil Gaiman. It's an offshoot from Sandman, but they're enjoyable enough, and I have been enjoying reading like more into the Sandman universe. So this is just another piece of it. So it says, Dream of the Endless is the unquestioned lord of all that happens when we sleep, including his most solemn duty, the creation of nightmares. Oh, this is probably about Corinthian. So this is a character from Sandman. He has teeth for eyes, and he like eats people with his eyes or something. I don't know. It's really gruesome and interesting, and I love it. It's gore and it's fun. It's just got like regular Sandman-esque style to it. The last graphic novel I got, that is Supermutant Magic Academy. I've read this before, and I just really enjoy it. Like, each page to 2 pages is a little story within it. So it's like kind of single shots, but it all revolves around this Supermutant Magic Academy. It's by Gillian Tamaki, and I've enjoyed most things that Gillian Tamaki has come out with. She is amazing. She also wrote Skim, and then she did This One Summer as well. Both of those were so good and so wonderful. This is obviously set at like a magical academy. A lot of weird things, so many weird things. And it doesn't have a plot or anything, but it is just beautiful. Like, it's amazing. You walk away with so many quotes and so many interesting ideas. Next, a book I have right now is The Vaster Wilds. That's by Lauren Groff. I'm reading that right now for my book club, which is today. So I have to finish this today. And that is that. But this one follows this girl who has run away from something. She's like on the lam sort of thing, and it's in colonial setting, and it is primarily told from her and looking back on her past, like what happened and stuff, as she is on the run, and she is in the woods fending for herself. She's young, and it is very brutal. It's like The Revenant for girls. Last but not least, we have Carlo Rovelli's White Holes. I sometimes like a little pop physics book, pop science book, and this one is just about white holes, so that's going to be interesting. I don't know, I've always been a physics girly. I've always been kind of a science math girly, and I like to sometimes dive into that a little bit, so that's exciting. Anyways, thank you so much for coming and watching this. Let me know what you get from your library. Let me know if you use your library. And yeah, okay. Bye, everyone.